as we were talking from last week, I think the last thing I mentioned was more like how you can collaborate with others, how you can collaborate and all that. So I'm going to take it from there and then give you some more tips and we'll see where we get to. So my major aim for this community is that by let's say by September, you guys should have gone really far. As far as you are following, you should have gone very, 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 very far. Very far. Because it's a different thing to attend meetings and it's a different thing to act on those things you've been taught, right? So please, and I will also appreciate feedbacks anytime you get blessed or anytime you hear something that amazes you, that always give feedbacks. It goes a long way. And also, if you have any topic that you want me to also talk about, I'll try and infuse it into what I'll be discussing as time goes on. All right. So one tip that I want to give you guys: how to position yourself as a filmmaker for opportunities, part 2. So the first tip I'm going to talk about here is look like it. Right? What do I mean by look like it? If you want to position yourself for certain opportunities, you should look like the opportunity. All right. So now I'm using filmmaking as an example or as a case study, right? So if you are looking forward to certain opportunities in filmmaking, or maybe you're like, okay, I want to get bigger stuff. All right, you are probably an independent filmmaker and then you want to, like, position yourself for opportunities to get bigger gigs, like something that runs in the millions and all that. You should look like it, right? So I've made some mistakes in the past that when I later learned the wisdom behind it, I knew why some things didn't work, right? So, and I'm just gonna share some of them with you so that you can also learn, you glean from the wisdom, and then you don't make such mistakes, right? So, take for instance, you want to pitch for a gig that runs in millions and you've never done that before, right? And then let's say the client asks you to, okay, let's have a meeting. Let's have a meeting and let's discuss. Number one, you must look like it. Okay, this example I'm about to give you is not like a perfect example, but as at that point in time in my life, it was perfect for that situation. But if I would do that now, I'm definitely not going to do it the way I did it. But then it worked at that time, right? So let me give you the example. So there was a time a friend of mine recommended me to his boss, and that I'm good at this, I can do this, that this guy is good, those, the way there are friends that can root for you like that. This guy is good guy, boss, please just try him out and all that. So the boss arranged for a meeting. So the day I wanted to go for the meeting, I'm like, okay, this person is a big person, right? He runs an NGO. What it takes for you to run an NGO, a school NGO. The school is like for bright minds, for bright kids that can't afford education. So they go to different places, slums, they pick them, they select them, bright kids. They are like geniuses and they give them examinations once they pass the examination, they're going to, you know, give them free education because they are coming from a poor background and they can't afford it, right? So um that kind of person, not anybody can do that kind of a thing, right? So that was my first time relating with such person. So the day we had the meeting, I went there and I had already rehearsed everything I'm going to say. But number one, my dressing was different. Okay. The way I dressed, I was intentional. I had an haircut, I wore a suit, I got all these laptop kind of suitcase. I went with it. I got a spec. I just went there looking to got, you know, put some spray, went there looking really touche and all. And when I got to the place, it wasn't, it was not on seat. So the guy showed me, okay, so I sat down, I was waiting for him. So when he entered, I stood up to greet him and then, we exchanged pleasantries and I sat down. And then he's like, "Oh, so you are the big man?" I said, "Yes, sir, I am." So he said, "Okay, so tell me, this is what I have in mind. What do you think?" So I'm like, the first thing I did was ask enough questions. The first thing I did was ask a question. I asked enough questions as possible about the project. And then I'm like, okay, this is what you want to do. This is what um you want to do. Am I right? You want to do this, this, this. I just made sure I got clarity from what he was saying. While he was talking, I listened to him and I got what he was saying and I interpreted it back to him and we were on the same page. So he said, "Okay, can you show me some of the works you've done in the past so that I can, see?" Then I brought out my gadget. I showed him, okay, this is the work I've done. So he saw it and I think I showed him one major work and then some other minor stuff like that. So it's now like the first thing he said was like, Omo, hope your money will not be too much like this, the the reason why he said that is not a poor guy, right? Is just like trying to be playful about it. But then it registered in his heart that this guy is not here to play because my dressing showed my composure, the way I handle the business. I didn't talk about money until he raised it. I didn't mention money until he raised it. And even when he raised money issue, I told him I was going to get back to him. But the kind of project you are doing determines how long it takes you to get back to the person, right? But it must not be up to 2 days, either that same day or the next day. And why are you taking your time? So that you can make research. Okay, if I'm using certain gadget for this project, how much is it going to cost? So that you can just get your figures right? You don't just say this is the amount immediately when they ask you. Okay, that's by the way, that's a tip by the way. So it was like, okay, so how is it going to be and all that? I'm like, okay, I'm going to write you a new voice and get back to you, and we are going to fix a date to start production. I was like, okay, that's fine. And then I left the place, right? Um, so fast forward, I later gave him the invoice and all that, and that was like the first time I'm giving out an invoice as high as that based on the figures I put there. But he didn't even negotiate it. He said, "Okay, let's go ahead. Let's work." He said, "Okay, it's fine." Just like that. I was surprised that I didn't even say, this money, can we do this amount and all that? No, he didn't. He said, "Okay." And funny enough, even when we did the project and we finished it, he called me again for another project. So when I did the project for him and then I sent it to him, so he saw that, okay, I think let's correct something. So he gave me like 2 to 3 stages of corrections. And for every stage of correction he gave me, he added money to it. So when he says, okay, can we use a different sound? Can you add something here? Um, when he asks me to do that, he's going to pay for it. Like he will give me money for that correction. Do you get? The usual, your normal clients will say, I don't like this thing, remove it, put this one. And they can give you correction like 10 times. But this person, three different times, he gave me correction. Some of them were his fault. Like, what I mean by they were his fault is that some of them was due to him not deciding what he really wants. So he's like, okay, let's change this picture. I prefer this picture. Let's do this. But for every stage of correction he gave me, he paid for it. So that tells you the kind of client he is, the caliber of client he is. Is not your regular kind of client. Sure, you get. So how did I get that kind of a gig? Because I look like it. So my first point, I'm still trying to drive on my first point. Look like the opportunity you are trying to position yourself for. If I went there with palm slippers and Ankara and cap, uh, I'll probably not land the gig. You'll just be like, well, it's fine, it's fine. It's cool, you are good, but this is the amount you are worth. So the problem is many people, is not that they can't make some money, but they don't look like the money they want to make. So when you pitch for those kind of money, the people you are pitching to feel you are hungry and you probably run away with this money. So people don't give to those who don't have most times. They give to those who already have, and they are sure that my money is secure with this person. Or either you already have or you look like you already have, they will trust you more with their millions. Okay, it will be very hard for me to do a business in millions with somebody who doesn't look like millions, with somebody who looks like is looking for daily 2K. Because if I give you the millions, even though you look like someone that is looking for daily 2K, the million will be a big deal to you. You may just even decide to run away out of the city or just disappear because the money, you may feel the money is going to build you wealth or something. But if you appear to me as though you've been handling millions before, I will not feel you are going to run away with my money. That's just the psychology. So if you are pitching yourself for certain opportunities, look like it. Okay, when you're having some certain meetings and you want to discuss millions, go like that, appear, wear something classy, go for the meeting. If you don't have a car, go and rent. I've done that before. I've done, see, if you don't have a car and you want to go and pitch for something that involves million or something, rent. Is You are not doing fake life, you are just positioning yourself. How much do they rent cars? If you depend on the kind of car, if you have 50K, if you have 75K, if you have 100, 120, max rent, go for that stuff. Go for it. If you can't drive, get a driver. Go for it. Position yourself like that. Look good, look smart, look like somebody that has been handling millions before. There will always be your first time at it. So if they are saying we need people that have 5 years experience to do certain jobs, and you are just coming out of school, how do you garner such experience? By doing internship or by doing some certain things here and there, you're able to gather it. And then you're like, right from school, you've been volunteering for certain organization, right from your 100 level. By the time you graduate, you do service, you've worked for 5 years experience already, and then you get the job. You just build it. So if you've not handled millions before, because one thing or the other, or where you're coming from, and then you want to break into it, you cannot break into it by looking like you've never handled it before. You have to look like it, look like the opportunity you are pitching yourself for. That is the only way you will seamlessly get it. So you are not deceiving anybody. You are just positioning yourself to get to that point. By the time you break that your first million, it will not be difficult to do the rest. Do you understand? So when you're trying to pitch for an opportunity, you have to look like it. Either a filmmaker, either anybody, a business person, anything. So this knowledge, this wisdom, everything you're getting can be applied in every facet of life. Whatsoever you are doing, copy and paste. Sure you get. That's just it. Let me move to the next point. A way you can position yourself for opportunities as a filmmaker is you must be excellent at what you do. That one is is it cannot be negotiated. You must be excellent at what you do. All right. Because I want to believe that it's at every level. Okay. You may say I'm a beginner, I'm this, I'm that. You can be excellent at every level. Don't wait till you are a pro or to before you start having that excellent mindset. You must be excellent at what you do. There's something called mental laziness. I always say this in every individual. You have to overcome it at every point you get to in life. Now, what is mental laziness? Mental laziness is you trying to look for the easiest route to go about a task and not wanting to do the due diligence. So I'm still going to relate this to filmmaking, especially when it comes to editing, right? I used to tell this when I'm doing any editing training. I always emphasize this. Always, every work you do, always overcome mental laziness. For example, you're asked to edit a video of someone sharing his life experience. Now, I'm going to show you what mental laziness is. Now, the person sits down and says, I'm from Lagos. I grew up as a struggling person. I couldn't afford education. I had to hustle to get one or two things done. I sold bread. I I even carried load to get money. Okay, that's a documentary of someone sharing his life experience, right? So as a video editor, you are told to edit that kind of a video. You are told to do that, to edit it. Now, the person sit down, all you just need to do is the first thing you need to do is you are to interpret that person's um experience in a way that we, the audience, we are going to resonate with it. So editor A just cuts out the whole thing. Okay, remove mistakes where he said sorry. I think he cuts out all those parts and then added subtitle and then added a sound, maybe a sad sound, just for us to, enjoy the flow and all that. And the person click export, and that's it, it's done. But editor B is like, okay, this guy said he came from Lagos. Let me add a footage of Lagos. Let people even feel, the buzziness of Lagos and all those things. Then the person adds it. Maybe a drone shot of Lagos, busy, all those red buses and all that. Okay, added a drone shot. And then I struggled as a kid. I sold bread. Person goes online to look for a kid selling bread or something or market. Just goes on YouTube, types Lagos or types, Hawking on YouTube, Hawking, African, Hawking. And then you see different videos of, school kids hawking on the road. You added it to the video. And then the person said, I really struggled. There was no food. I even did some agricultural work just to send myself to school. You go online to search for footages that could do that. In fact, in cases where you didn't see footages that could adequately represent that, you are just like, okay, can we just quickly shoot something? You go outside, get someone, okay, just dress in a tattered way and then sit down with empty plate in front of you. Just put your head down like you are thinking or you are sleeping off in front of plate or something, and then you capture it in a very nice way and you added it. The difference between editor A and editor B is mental laziness. Editor A gave in to mental laziness and just did the work in the easiest way possible. But editor B is able to inconvenience himself to go the extra mile. That little extra stuff, although it will take you more time to finish the project, it may even cost you money or cost you more data or even cost you anything. But then what you're doing for yourself as editor B is that number one, you are telling a very good and solid story, and number two, you are being excellent at what you do. And the Bible even says, seest thou a man diligent in his business, he will stand before kings and not mere men. Editor A will stand before mere men, and editor B is going to stand before kings, because what editor B is doing is something that will attract kings. While what editor A is doing something that will attract mere men, or it may not even attract any men. It will just be there. You just watch the video and pass. But this other person, you watch the video and at the end of the day, you either shed a tear or you just resonate, and then you are like, I remember when I was struggling too, because you've been able to see what this person is passing through and you could relate with this story. So as a filmmaker, you're a storyteller. As an editor, you're a storyteller. As a graphic designer, you're a storyteller. As a photographer, you're a storyteller. As a voiceover artist, you're a storyteller. Whatever creative space you are in, you are telling a story. Either a good story or a bad story, you are telling something. Do you understand? So please, it's a battle you will always fight every day of your life or every project you want to work on. Mental laziness is always a battle. Even in fashion designing, there's always mental laziness. Maybe you've cut something, it didn't go the way you want, but because you don't want the fabric to waste, you don't want to go and buy another fabric. You will still look for a way to just maneuver it and do something, and you call it creativity. The thing is, this is not going according to the plan, and it's most likely not going to give you the best results. But because of mental laziness, you decide to cut corners, and then you just came out with something totally different. And that is what leads to what I ordered versus what I got. Shall you get? So please don't let it happen to you that they ask you to do a video and they are saying, and then the client is now like, this is what I ordered and this is what I got. So you have to always fight that battle of mental laziness every day. Please don't do your work in the laziest way. Always, once you are done with the video or with whatsoever you're doing, look at it again. What else can I add to this thing to make it different? I've done the videos before. I just added something subtle to the video, and some certain people that I didn't even believe will notice, they noticed. They will like, I like that part where you added that sound, that sound effect, that down or something. There will just be this small thing that you add and it will change the dynamics of whatsoever you're doing. Do you get? So please, mental laziness is not your friend. If you want to stand before mere men, embrace mental laziness. But if you want to stand before kings and you want kings to stand before you, embrace, no, don't embrace. Always fight mental laziness. It will not take you to a good place. Please. My next point is mentorship. If you want to position yourself for opportunities, have mentors. Have people that have gone ahead of you or that are in the pathway you want to be, that are already treading the path that you are aiming to get to. Have mentors, right? You can have mentors in different fields. Okay, this is my mentor in this field. This is my mentor in that field. You should have someone you're looking up to, so that you can know what you're doing. So in case you have issues or you go to a roadblock, you can always seek advice from them. You can always, or most times when you, I have mentors I reach out to when I get a gig or a kind of project that I've never worked on before. I'll reach out to them and ask them, sir, how did you do this? How can I go about it? They give their advice. Or they say, okay, I have this, you can use this, you can use that. Have mentors, people that have gone ahead of you. Okay. Yeah, somebody said to be a master, submit to a master. Of course, you should. You can't just be floating and not have anybody. And when something goes wrong or something, you're like, I'll figure it out, I'll figure it out. You figure it out, of course, but then you could avoid some mistakes. There's a lot of mistakes you could avoid. All right. Mentors will open doors for you. Okay, they will give you access to people that you never imagined you could meet. I didn't even plan to share this story, but I'm going to share it. There was a time, because of someone I was submitted to at certain point in my life, you know, I got access to someone I've always been looking up to, like right from my 100 level in school. I've been following this person, like right from my 100 level till my 400 level, till I graduated, till I served. Then I started working. I've been following this person, and I never believed I would have any one-on-one contact with this person in even years to come. I never knew. It was just this morning, my mentor called me and said, are you free? I'm working with this person, and I'm not in town at the moment. Can you, but I recommended you. Can you meet with him? So I'm like, are you for real? This person, the person you've been following for so many years, and just one morning your mentor called you and said, go and work with this person. I'm not on ground. The funniest thing is that, so when he dropped the call, the next call I got was from this person, and he said, hello Samuel, where are you? Said, I'm at home, sir. I'm at home, sir. When you're talking, you can't believe it. That this is this voice. It's truly him. Oh. So he said, can you come to my house? We need to work on something. I'm like, hey, I don't die. So it was like a dream come true for me. So that same day, I was right in the house of someone that I never imagined I would ever, ever, ever have access to, just because I had mentors, people who have gone ahead of you, who are in that space. Just like that. Do you get? Before then, normally, these are people that if you even send them DM on Instagram, they will not even see it, not to talk of reading it, not to talk of even, responding or giving you any attention. But because of submission, you got access to that person. You know, After that time, you just post something on your status and people will be like, hey, how did you do this? Just no worry, soft work, nah, no worry, no worry. Just enjoy. You get. So it was a big deal for me. It was a big deal. And it's also like a portfolio. Like it just kind of gives you a total leap, like that. It gives you a total leap, like from here to this point. Because when you now post works that you did for that person, okay, and then you now showed other people, they're like, wow. So if you can work with this person, you know, although right now, as we speak, I no longer work for that person. This event I'm talking about is like, I think 3 years ago now. Is it 3 years ago? So it got to a point where I was leaving that area, that city, so I couldn't continue. So, but we still have communicate. We are still you know, it's always the relationship is still there. She gets. So mentors will give you a good start. Do you get? So don't float. Get someone, look for someone who is doing what you want to do and submit to the person. I told you from the last class we had, right, that the best way to have access to such people is by volunteering. So if you've not um gotten that knowledge from the last class, how do you get mentorship through volunteering? Go and watch the last video. You are going to I gave tips now. I gave practical examples sef. So I don't really want to go into that. I believe that helps. So another point I'm going to give, a way you can position yourself for opportunities, is networking. Hmm. Networking is one thing that I can't believe I'm going to be talking about right now because I hate it. Okay, let me tell you why. The most uncomfortable period of my when, let's say, you attend a meeting now, the part that makes me so uncomfortable in that meeting is when they say let's network. Oh God, you just be like, when will this session be over? When will this session be over? Because I don't really want to talk to anybody. I just want to learn what I need to learn and leave this place. Yeah, it happens. Everybody, well, most people, especially when you are not the type that talks a lot, or you know, when you call yourself an introvert. I don't like socializing. I don't like talking to people. I don't like going for events. I don't like going. I just want to be in my room for 24/7, 24 hours for 7 days. Well, if you how do I put this? I don't want to insult anybody, but let me just be polite. So networking is very, very important because you can build relationship from there. But let me okay, first let me tell you the importance of networking. Networking gives you access to people that you not normally have access to on a normal day. Maybe even someone you are really looking up to. Maybe they were invited for a program and you went there. That is an opportunity for you to network with the person, right? And then you get to network with the person. You can even go as far as exchanging contact with the person. Then you've somehow you've gotten access to the person like that. Okay, but the problem now is a lot of people say they don't like networking because they really don't like socializing and all those things. It makes them uncomfortable and all that. But see, if you really want to do anything meaningful in this life, you must embrace networking. You must embrace it because, well, who says being great is going to be comfortable? It's not going to be comfortable. It's not going to be easy. You are not always going to do what you love doing. You will definitely have to do stuff that you don't love to do. Okay, you have to just leave your comfort zone. So you have to just learn it. If you don't know how to learn it. But then I feel if you really want something, you should go for it. So if you're at an event and then there's this person you've always wanted to meet, and then they gave you guys opportunity to network, right? Just do it. That's just it. Just do it. I can remember I've pushed myself to do certain things, but I can remember the first time while I was a student, the first time I preached in a bus. So I've always been thinking, "Ah, God, I want to preach in this, but I want to preach." So there was just this day I'm like, before I get down from this bus, I must preach, or else, because I will feel like a failure. I feel like I'm just I can't do this. What's going on? Why do I keep failing at this and all that? So I did I implicated myself. So what did I do? The just do it method. If you can apply this just do it method, you're going to do a lot of things that will be shocking to you, to yourself. So when I got to the bus, I'm like, as the bus was moving, I think the journey is going to be um from where I was to take the bus into the campus. The journey is going to be like, let's say, 15 minutes drive. So I'm like, okay, when we get to the gate, I'm going to start. So we go to the campus gate. So after you go to the campus gate, you are still going to, keep driving for like 10 minutes or so for you to get to the school garage, to the school park. So I'm like, okay, when we get to that signboard, I'm going to start. So I'm like, this journey is already almost ending. If I don't start now, I may not do this again. So I pushed myself. So what did I do? I just said, good afternoon, everybody. Immediately I said good afternoon, everybody, like this, people turned their neck to look at me. So I knew I'd already started, so I must finish what I start. Because I can't say good afternoon, everybody, and now keep quiet and say nothing. So I have to finish what I started. But I'd already pushed myself. So when I said that was not a big deal to do now. Good afternoon, everybody. That was not a big deal. But when I said it, I knew I've entered this like this. I must finish what I started. So I started. I didn't even remember what I said that day, but I knew I preached. Started preaching Jesus this, Jesus that, Jesus. So when I got down from the car, someone patted my back and said, "Well done." So that's cute. That finished me. I'm like, God, what if I had not said anything? What if I kept quiet? You know, those things, just push yourself. So if you see someone, okay, this is the person I always wanted to meet, and then just stand up, move close to the person and greet the person. If you greet the person, that's it. You've started already. Just greet. If you always want to talk to someone and you don't know how to start a conversation, greet the person. Or greet the person, the next thing to say will come. So always push yourself to do it. It will not be convenient. I'm not promising you that. I'm not even promising you that you will say anything that will make sense. But you've done it the first time. The first time is always the most difficult thing. Once you've done the first time, you have a track record. You can say, I did it this time. I can do it again. Do you get? So start and then let the rest flow. So when it comes to networking, you should take it as priority. Okay, if I'm looking, but please don't network with someone that you don't really need, or how do I say it? Don't network for networking sake. For example, I was at one event recently, towards the ending of last year. So when we were done with the event and it's time to network, I picked the people I wanted to network with. I didn't say that, okay, these are people, these are great guys doing awesome stuff. So I must network with everybody. Because most times, if you network with someone you are not looking forward to network with, or with someone just because they're at an event and you just feel like, let me just network for networking sake, it usually ends there. You exchange contacts and that's the end. That's the last time you guys are going to talk. The contact will just be there. You might even be seeing the person's status and you'll be seeing each other's status, but there will be nothing to talk about because you guys don't have common ground. So before you network with someone, have something in common. There must be a reason, there must be something that will drive a conversation. Okay. So that when you guys eventually network, you exchange contacts, there will be something to discuss. So out of like 5 people prominent people in the event, I only network with 2 of them. Two, yeah. The third person, I just greeted him. I didn't bother exchanging. I just greeted. Yeah, well done, sir. I really love what you do. Some blah blah blah. But the major 2 people I networked, we exchange contact, and today we have something we discuss. We have work together. I've gotten certain stuff from him. He saw where I could fit in with what he does. We could fit into each other and we kept conversation rolling. So don't be a network freak and just have contacts of people and then that is the end. No. If you network for networking purpose, nothing comes out of it that is good unless you find a common ground whereby discussion will flow, right? So networking is very important. So let me now use this as a bonus. For you to position yourself for opportunities, you must always be ready to leave your comfort zone. Not everything you'll be doing will be something you're comfortable doing. Example, someone that says, I'm an introvert, I don't like standing in front of people, I don't like talking on camera, I don't like the sound of my voice. Do you think me I like the sound of my everybody does? It's the same thing with everybody. People don't like the way they sound unless you've listened to yourself over and over and over and over again, then you start to get over it. People don't like the way they sound. It's not just you, it happens to everybody too, right? In fact, the first time you will do a content and you watch yourself, you will cringe. You will feel, oh, okay, I didn't say this one well. Hey, I didn't. Hey. You will see like 1 million mistakes that nobody else is seeing. It's because it's you. So it's normal, right? Just do it and put it there. You will always have to do a lot of things that you're not comfortable doing, but you just have to do it because if you don't do it, nobody will do it for you. All right. So for you to be exceptional at what you do, or for you to position yourself for greatness or for opportunities, you must always do what you are not comfortable doing. So when it comes to networking, when it comes to speaking with people, when it comes to talking on camera, when it comes to standing in front of a crowd, you should always be ready to embrace those things. And then um you that you're always liking to stay indoors and not do anything. You just want to stay indoors, you don't want to go out. I don't want to do anything out there. I just want to be indoors, be doing my stuff indoors. I don't want to go out. It is well low. Even for you to enter a relationship, it's going to be hard because nobody will know you exist. So please, you have to always come out of your comfort zone anytime there is need for it. You should always be ready to do it because most people who are doing great things out there, they are not people who have they are not people who live in comfort. In fact, when they are too comfortable where they are, they're always moving to do the next challenging things. I need a challenge. They're always on the go. They want to get challenged by different things. So you can't stay in your comfort zone every time and feel chill about your life and expect to do something great in life. You won't. You will not stand out. You will not be exceptional. You will not. Go and ask them. Read people's stories, how they work, their work ethics, and all those things. Those guys are doing crazy stuffs out there. So you can't, if you can't do crazy stuff, you can't inconvenience yourself. You can't do the hard stuff, you're not going to get the result that they get. So it's as simple as that. All right. So the mentor you are trying to, get access to, the mentor doesn't joke with his time, and he doesn't play with, his work. So if you feel it's too busy to have your time, it is because you are not offering any form of value that will attract, that will command his attention towards you. So if you offer value to the person will turn to you because they are always looking towards value. So if you are just there and you're like, I hail you, I hail you, I hail you, you are doing well. A lot of people do the same thing. So there's nothing special about what you are doing. But if you come bearing values, they are going to look in your direction. And then you need to know how to sustain it. When they look in your direction, know how to sustain it. Know how to keep them looking in your direction. All of a sudden, they'll just bring you up and say, come, let's do this. And then your level don't change with that. If you have someone you are looking forward to um, get their attention or get access to them. There are a few things you can do. Number one, the popular one. If you see that they have a meeting or there is a conference within your vicinity, or even in a place where you have access to, you can travel to, or you can be there physically, try and be there. That's the way to have access to them, because you can use the opportunity to network with them. One. Number two, follow them back to back. When they post something, comment. When they do anything, like, share, follow, let them notice you. I've done that to someone before. The person entered my DM and I saw that you've been following my stories. Share, you see, the person himself entered my DM and said, I saw that you've been following me back to back, you've been commenting and all that. You see, so they can always notice when they post something, you are like the first person to comment, and not that you are saying nice, awesome, hey boss, fire emoji, fire, 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 fire. No, no. Say something that makes sense. Say something reasonable. Like, contribute to what, yeah, contribute. Say something that has weight. So you get, not fire, fire. I don't know why I'm using fire, but a lot of people use fire. This is fire and all that. So don't say something, contribute in a very reasonable. In fact, you can compel them to reply or contribute. And if they see that you're a smart person, most times they will check your profile and then they see that, oh, this person in the same line with what. In fact, yesterday, was it yesterday or 2 days ago, someone followed me and then I saw that person liked some of my posts and all that. I had to check the person's profile. And I saw that this person is also a video editor and a social media person, manager. And all of a sudden, I'm like, there could be, we could work together, but I'm not going to reach out yet. I just want to see how the person will follow, how the person is going to be instrumental at engaging my post. Then I can say, what do you do for the moment? Why, let's work together. I have some opportunities here and there that I can share with you. Simple. That's number two. Number three, when they put out a course or something, buy it. They put out a course, or maybe they have like a an exclusive platform or paid mentorship or anything that will involve money. That is another way to have access to them. Buy it and have access. Those exclusive stuffs will give, they always like having a smaller group of people where they can ask them direct questions or have access to them. That's also another way of having access to all these things I said. It's only the first one that involves physical um physical meeting. The second tip and the third tip does not involve physical meeting. That means you can use those methods to connect with anybody anywhere in the world. So the another thing that you can do is you're being thoughtful. Even after you've had the access to them, you must be thoughtful, because you are not the only one who has access in that, especially maybe when you get a course or something. You should be thoughtful. What can I do to this person to further get more attention? Okay, let me offer value. Many great people you see out there, they have needs. You just need to think, okay, how can I meet this need? I'm not saying monetary need. They may not have financial needs, but they may have certain needs, like, I need someone to help me handle this aspect, or I need someone to be doing this, to be designing, or to do like a PA, to be replying my mails, or to, the list is endless, right? So those people have needs. You just need to be thoughtful enough to know which area can I fit in so that this person can give me more attention. I did it recently too when I got, I I got an access like that. So after the whole training and all that, I'm like, what else can I do? So when I was leaving, I said, I have a small gift for you. Then I put something inside the envelope and then I'm like, have it, sir. Sir, you too have this. Immediately, in fact, on my way going home, I got a call. Person called me and said, wow, Samuel, thank you. This is unbelievable. It's not like I didn't put millions into this stuff, just a few thousand, but it's the thoughtfulness, right? I'm not going to say that I'm the only one who did that. Okay, among we were like 20 who attended the class. I'm not saying I'm the only one who did that, but as far as I'm concerned, I touched something in them. And because of that, I got exclusive access. So every time I speak on phone, he's always saying that anything you need, call me. Anything, as far as it's something I can give, I can do, let me know. I'm always there. I'm like, no worry. In fact, after I left, the first time we spoke, I told him that, sir, I'm in Abuja, right? Anything you need in Abuja, I'm here. Just call me. I'll turn up. He is in Lagos, right? Anything you need in Abuja, call me. I'll turn up. If you need my help to help you do anything, let me know. I'm not the kind of person that I will show you that I'm here to collect. I'm here to collect. No, I'm painting it to him that I'm here to give. I'm willing to give. He was now forced to always tell me that if I need anything, I should let him know. So as he's saying that, even me, I'm saying that, sir, if you need anything, as far as it is within my jurisdiction to give, let me know. I will turn up for you. So it has to be mutual. People don't like people that want to just suck from them or draw from them. No, they will avoid you. The natural instinct is stay away. But when you appear as someone who is coming to add value to their life, they will open up. They will open up for you, and then you have the access.